Hello, this is a brief overview of Nursing 650, and this is Population Health and Epidemiology. So the course itself is set up like many of our other courses. You will find on the landing page that there will be an opening announcement along with the different tabs that you can open or modules that you can open for information. So there's the orientation start here, syllabus and course information, and then the 8 modules for the course. This is just kind of an empty shell, but don't delete it because that holds much of the information for the modules. This is basically the instructor only, so you can add resources here if you would like, and just kind of general information as you're progressing through the course. You can add information there as resources for you to use in the course itself and share amongst the students. So this is just kind of a repository for you as you move forward. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the orientation start here. And this is what students will see. So this is the orientation on the course itself. And just know that you need to record your own video and upload it here. So that's really important because we want that connection with our students. And this is just kind of an overview to help you as you're getting acclimated to the course as well. So there are highlight questions in this particular course where students can actually answer some very fundamental questions as far as discussion boards and those types of things, just to verify that they have indeed explored the course, and this is actually very helpful for them to get started. Then there's, of course, resources for them. The Holman Library, we also have APA information and access to the Writing Center. And students are free to make appointments at the Writing Center, and they do virtual appointments, so it's really easy to use. And just know that Holman Library is very helpful as well as far as helping our students. So there are tips on completing a video note for the discussion board and starting a thread. Sometimes our students are coming into the program as a prerequisite for the DNP program, and they may not have been previous students before. Typically, the MSN students who take Nursing 650, this will not be their first course. So just kind of remember that. So be very aware of at what point the students are coming in, because those who are coming into the program as a DNP student or newly entering into the program may need a little more assistance than others. So with that being said, there's also information on the portfolio, and Nursing 650 as of right now is part of the student's portfolio, and they'll need to upload their very final paper in their portfolio as part of the repository of all their fundamental courses. This is for MSN students only. For all their fundamental, the 4 core courses, CORE courses in the master's program, they need to have those in the portfolio as of now, and we're looking at changing that, so that may change as well. So that's kind of an overview of the orientation start here. And if you ever get lost, always go back to course home, and then you'll come to the landing page once again. Here's the syllabus and course information, and the course syllabus is listed here, and that's all the nuts and bolts for the course. It's actually attached here, and then we have the student learning outcomes, and this is what the course is based upon. So we also have the calendar and course due dates, but that will change from time to time, so you can update the calendar and enter the dates in the course itself. We also have the aggregate outcomes for the course as well as the rubrics for the assignments. So we have a rubric for the discussion board, and those are embedded within the discussion board, as well as the critique rubric and the synthesis assignment, where they'll be putting absolutely everything together. The discussion boards are very deliberate in this course because they will be building the skills to get to the point to complete their critique and then continue to build their skills to get to the point where they're putting it all together for their final assignment. So just know that this course is scaffolded very deliberately, and we use the Merrill textbook, of course, and we do not follow the course, the textbook trajectory. We integrate key elements to start out with fundamental aspects of epidemiology, and then we build from there. So again, it has worked very well, but always open to any kind of suggestions or opportunities to improve what we're already doing. Here's information about the APA manual, one-stop library for nursing, and I just want to pop in there because this brings the students to a very useful source that has all kinds of different links here that they can use to access. So just know that that is available, and honestly, it's good for us as well. So we can also use those resources also. And of course, the gold standard for expectations, it is the expectation to be very responsive to the students, and that we grade in a timely manner as well. So that does outline our expectations. So each one of the modules is set up in a very similar way. We start out with the student outcomes for the module. There's a module overview, which provides information, kind of the to-do list, what is going to go on in that particular module. And then there's a module overview. Again, these are placed here for you, but the expectation is for you to record your own video as an overview for each one of the modules. But this will help you to get a really good idea of what is going on in each one of the modules to help you to do your own video. And then also included are some PowerPoint overviews, and I've done some recordings for those. And again, this is a resource for you to use as well. So just know that there's all kinds of resources for you as you're moving forward with teaching the course. And then there's the content that the students will need in addition to the readings in the book. So much of the discussion boards are tied to the materials that are included in the modules, and with their very first in the module 1, they will actually do an introduction, kind of a welcome, and then they will also do a discussion board as well in that very first one. So this one is just basically an overview of what their thoughts are about epidemiology and going from there, and then the actual discussion board. And like I said, the discussion boards are your classroom, so to speak. So this is where much of the discussion occurs, and I do want to share with you how the discussion boards are structured as well. So when we go into communication, where the discussion boards are located, you will see that all of the prompts are already here. You will need to change the dates for each one of the discussion boards to make sure it correlates with the calendar for that particular year. But most of the discussion boards actually have the overview of what exactly is required. So it's in each and every discussion board, so the students won't have to look elsewhere. And then also it goes into the questions, and typically there's at least 2 sets of questions, so the students can actually choose which set they want to respond to and what's pertinent to them. So with that being said, the whole course, or all those in the class, will be answering maybe different questions. So a few may do set 1 and the majority set 2, whatever their choice is, but this allows us to kind of divide and conquer more material, and so that everyone isn't answering the same exact question. So it adds some diversity to our discussions, and we can gain on the different backgrounds of each one of our students to learn more. So this is really, honestly, for an instructor, this is really a cool opportunity to also learn and expand and guide. So using that foundational community of inquiry, but one of the key elements of the community of inquiry is actually having that instructor presence and that guide, and to support what they're learning and add questions along the way or respond to their responses. So just kind of keep that in mind. That honestly, it's much more rewarding and much more vivid for the faculty member as well as the students with that level of engagement. And that's something that we really pride ourselves, of course, at McKendree, is really make that connection with our students and help them to be successful in their learning career. So like I said, all the prompts are already here. We have the different sets of questions. There's no discussion board in Module 5 to allow them time to actually complete their study critique. And then we go back into discussion board number 3, where we're using all the skills that we've gained from the get-go to actually include in our discussion board here, because this is where we're going to follow the research. We're going to identify either misinformation or a common health claim, and we're going to follow the research. What is the substance to that claim, or maybe some inaccurate information? So really teasing it back and figuring out why that information is present, and is it really reliable, valid, and good source as far as research, and is the sample generalizable? All of those types of things are what we're bringing together. So we're applying those skills before we get into our very final assignment, which there's no discussion board for module number 7. Again, they're going to be working on their synthesis assignment, and then in discussion board 8, they'll kind of reflect on the course itself and provide an overview of their final paper, so that again they can share what they've learned throughout the course as it progressed, and share that learning among each other. So that's kind of a general overview of the course itself. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, but this is just kind of an overview of how the course is structured.